Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic and a puzzle by Mad Tyus today called Fire and Water, and it's a bit terrifying because there are fire and water cells in it and they have all sorts of rules that we haven't seen before. I'm going to give it a go in a moment. I've experienced Mad Tyus before and I think the name Mad is pretty accurate. So I'm going to have a look at those rules in a minute. And first of all, I want to mention the duality hunt by Skunkworks on our Patreon, and you can have a go at that and potentially win a prize, which is to collaborate with Simon on making a video about a puzzle. So give it a go. There's still just time to have a go at all those puzzles and enter them. They're brilliant Sudokus. That's on Patreon, along with gridogram connections and crossword videos. Loads of those, and it's a great place to be for all sorts of puzzle content. And we've also got apps that you could purchase, which include Killer Sudoku, as well as Classic Sudoku 2 and the Worms. Do check it all out. It's great fun. Now, first of all, let's have a look at the rules and try and understand them, and then we'll have a go at the puzzle. You can try it on the first link under the video. The rules are written obviously in the software itself. So first of all, normal Sudoku rules apply. So 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. It doesn't bode well that I'm being incoherent already, does it? There are 9 fire cells in the grid, exactly 1 in each row, column, and marked box, and they are filled with a complete set of the digits 1 to 9. So I'm just having a guess at, they might be those 9 cells, for instance, 1 in each column, row, and box, and they would be filled with the digits 1 to 9. There are also 9 water cells following the same rules as the fire cells. And it's possible for a cell to belong to both sets simultaneously. That's not normally the case with vampire and prey, but this is fire and water. The value of fire and water cells is the digit in the cell multiplied by the minimum number of orthogonal steps between the fire cell and the water cell within the respective 3 by 3 box. Wow, okay, so if there is a fire cell there and a water cell there, there are 3 steps between them, and let's say we had a 9 in that cell, it would have a value of 27, 9 times 3. And I mean, the same is true if that was a 9 instead of this one. This would have a value of 27, 9 times 3. If a cell is fire and water at the same time, its value is 0 because the minimum number of orthogonal steps is 0. Note, as the same rules apply to the set of fire cells and the set of water cells, it's not possible or required to decide which of the sets is fire and which is water. Well, thanks for that, Mad Tyus. In cages, finally we get to the point of these values. In cages, digits must not repeat, and the values have to add up to the total given in the top left corner. So the 3 values in this cage will add up to 17, but 1 or more of them might be fire or water cells with that rule set applying. Okay, this could be monstrous. You can check the video length. I have no idea how long this is going to take me, but I am going to plow ahead and let's get cracking. So, it strikes me, and I could be wrong, that these cages, which could be ordinary killer cages, are less interesting than these cages, which have what I would normally call ridiculous totals in. In fact, I'm going to focus on these 2 because they're entirely contained within a box. Oh, well, let's not use colours. Sorry, I don't know why. They're entirely contained each within 1 box. And yet we have to get to a value of 41. Now, what does that mean? That means that 1 at least of the cells is a fire and water. Like normally the maximum value of a cage is 24. So we have to somehow boost the maximum value by at least 17. So one of the, okay, here's a thought. One of these cells is a fire or water cell. Now, I deduce that the only way that you could get to the maximum multiplier value of 4 is by having a fire and water cells that were in opposite corners of a box, like there or there. I mean, in this box, very specifically. To have a multiplier value of 4, you'd have to have the fire and water cells there or there. That wouldn't allow either of them into this cage. So you don't have a multiplier value of 4 in this cage, and that's reducing the options a bit. Do you have to have a multiplier of 3? Let's say these were the fire and water cells, and were both the maximum value. It's so annoying. This could happen. If they were the fire and water cells and were a 9 and 8, each of those cells would have its value, would have its digit doubled to give it its value, and that must make them add up to 34. And then you could put an ordinary 7 in here, and that would add up to 41. What I was hoping, okay, that is one way of achieving 41. Is there another way if there's only one cell getting multiplied in here? Because then that can't be multiplied by 2. That would clearly not get far enough. So if there was only one, it would have to be multiplied by 3. So that could, for instance, be sitting there with the fire and water cell being there, 3 away. Now what could we multiply by 3? We could multiply 9 by 3, and the other two could be 8 and 6. And that gets us to 41. So there is another possibility. Could we multiply 8 by 3? No, we'd need 17. We'd need 9 and 8. So the only two ways of achieving these 41 cages, they're obviously symmetrical and both the same, is there are two ways, and one is by having fire and water in those cells, and the other is by having one of these be fire or water, and the other cell in the box be 3 away. So I don't think these cells can ever be fire or water. This because it's never fire or water within the box. This because it's not far away enough, and these are not far away enough from either of those cells. So there must be an analogous pattern down here. I suspect it looks like that. And I'm going to try and use green for natural cells and maybe, well, red and blue for fire and water, although obviously there is no right way or wrong way round of having those two. But it's annoying, isn't it? Because, oh no, it's not annoying. Because now we've got a green in a 45 cage, and this is where the two ends of the puzzle deviate, because we've got 43 down here and 45 up here, and that might make a difference. But now we've got a cell in this cage which doesn't have a fire or water cell in it. And I'm wondering now, the next thing I'm wondering is, do both of these have to have the fire and water cells? If only one of them did, that could have a value of 27. No, of 36. Oh, curses. Because now there are two options here, wouldn't you know it? Either, I don't think you could have one cell being multiplied by 3, because that would be worth a maximum of 27, and the other two cells would have to add up to 18. So you can't just have one cell having an increase. Okay, what I worked out was that you could have a multiplier of 4, and if you put a 9 here, you'd get 36, and those two would only have to add up to 9 and be natural. So in fact, you could roll that down to even 7. multiplied by 4 is 28, and a 9 and 8 in the other cells will get you done. So now the alternative, and why I assumed there was a second option, was putting both in here. But that's no good. That is no good, because then the step value, the multiplier, is only 1. And although you can multiply both of them, multiplying them by 1 doesn't increase their digit number to a different value number. So I think this one is going to have the 4. So I'm going to call that water and that fire randomly. And I think this has to be right. The rest of that box is natural. This digit I've just worked out is 7, 8 or 9. If it's a 9, these two have to add up to 9. If it's an 8, they have to add up to 13, because 8 times 4 is 32. If it's a 7, they have to add up to 17. Now, does this cell have any impact on this cage? I mean, it stops that cell being a water cell, but it doesn't stop it being a fire cell. So my feeling there is definitely not enough impact. Now, what is the calculation for the 43 cage? Again, they can't both be in it, because that wouldn't up the value past a multiplier of 1. So there's only 1 in it. Does it have to be a multiplier of 4, or could you have a multiplier of 3? 27, if you used a 9, multiplied it by 3, that's 27. The other two cells would have to add up to 16. That would require another Yeah, you can't have 2 8s. It's not allowed. There's no repeat digits. So you'd have to have another 9, and that's a repeat digit. And if you multiplied 8 by 4, 8 by 3, you'd get 24, and they'd have to add up to 19. So we're going to have the multiply by 4 option. The multiply by 3 option didn't quite work. So now I don't know which one of these is fire and water, but I do know they are both of them. I can't relate them to the red and blue I chose there. We'll get to that angle. This has to be, it might not have to be as much as 7. If it was 6 multiplied by 4, these would add up to 19. No, it does have to be as much as 7. But these either add up now to 7, 11 or 15 rather than 9, 13 or 17, which those two do. And now we've got a number multiplied by 4 in this 17 cage. But I mean, well, that doesn't really help. Does it? Oh, we've got a number multiplied by 4 in this 15 cage. If that was a 3, these would have to be 2 and 1. I mean, I don't know, this could also be multiplied, but it doesn't help the maximum height of this. Now, could this be a 4 multiplied by 4? No, because those would both have to have a value of a total of 1. So that is also 1, 2 or 3. I mean, I am making step-by-step tiny deductions here, and I am now going to run out of juice, because that was the 2 or the 4 big cages with crazy numbers that we've looked at. 41, 43, 41 and 45. How on earth do I go about doing the rest of the puzzle? I don't even know whether I want to put 2 modifier cells in here. Now, what was going to happen if I did that? They would have to be 9 and 8 with a 7 here. Now, okay, that's interesting. So what I do know about these 2 cages taken together is that they are not both double modifier cages. Because if you had to make them up with 9, 8, 7, you'd have 4 digits up the middle column that would all be 9, 8 and 7. That's impossible. So at least one of these only has 1 modifier in. I mean, I'd much rather have the conclusion be the other way around, but, you know, you take what the truth is. So in one of these cases, there's a modifier 3 cells away in one of those cells. Now, can we rule out two modifiers like that? I doubt it very much. I don't see how we could. When we're using a modifier of 3, what are we putting in the cage of 41? It is a 999 with 8 and 6 in the cage. Is it always that? Yeah, 888 doesn't get it done. You'd have to repeat the 8. Okay, so these digits are selected from 9, 8, 7 and 6. These cages either contain modified 9 and 8 and natural 7, or modified 9 and natural 8 and 6. So actually these digits are also from 6, 7, 8, 9. But we've got a quad here. So everything else in this column is from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, they can't both be 986 cages for exactly the same reason, because that would be a quadruple of cells that only had 986. Therefore, one of these cages does have the double modifier in, and the other one only has a single. That's quite interesting, but it's just not going to lead on to anything else. It's not as if it's necessary to put the cell that's 3 away into this 10 cage, which would be really interesting. If you had to have a 3 multiplier digit sitting in the 10 cage, it could only be 1 or 2. Maybe not really interesting, but potentially a bit interesting. Okay, let's go back to the 45 cage. This is multiplied by 4. Oh yeah, and then these add up to either 9, 13 or 17. Well, they don't add up to 17 because that would make this digit 9 or 8. I think we've worked out that this cage is either 987 or 986, so it includes the 9 and 8 in the box already. So I'm going to rule out 7 from this cell. And now these two add up to either 13 or 9. And 13, if this is an 8. So they wouldn't be 8, 5 then. They'd be 9, 4 or 6, 7. What about down here? Can I remove 7 from here? 43 is a different number, that's the problem. If that was a 7, we've got 28 in this cell. These two would have to add up to 15. They would be a 9, 6 pair. But this digit could be a 6 then, and this could be a 9, 8, 7 cage. So I don't think I can rule 7 out of here. The modifier, is the modifier always 9 or 8? In the double case, it's a 9 and 8. In the single case, it's a modified 9. So this digit that is not modified can never be the 9. The 9 is always being modified. And in one of the cages, the 41 cages, this digit is not an 8. And one of the cages has a 6 in one of these and a 7 in the other one, in these dominoes. Oh, so these digits are never 6 or 7. They're always selected from 9 or 8. Now that unfortunately doesn't mean that this digit has to be that one, because it could be an 8 and be sitting there, I believe. Then 9 would be being modified here. No, I think that's a problem. This can't be an 8. Or rather, whatever I was just postulating doesn't quite work. if this was a natural 8, that would be in the version where 9 gets tripled, and there's also a 6 in the cage. Well, the 6 has to go in the central column and would have to go here. So if that's an 8, that's a 6. This is 7 and that's 9. Yes, the 7 in these two cages has to be in one of the green cells, because the instance in which the 7 appears is where 9 and 8 are both being modified in the ends of the cage, and the 7 is natural on the knuckle. Now, what I think I'm also finding is that these digits can't be 8. Let me go through that again. For 8 to be natural, you're in the cage which has only one multiplier. And that multiplier is at 9 being multiplied by 3. Oh, but that could sit here. 9 sitting here, 8 here, and 6 here being natural. That is possible. Oh. One of these cages is a double modifier, which is modifying 9 and 8. Now I'm including the number 9 there. The other cage is only modifying a 9 times 3, but both of them are modifying a 9. And we can only have 2 modified 9s in the puzzle. So this cell is a modified 8, and this cell is not a modified 9. In fact, one of these is going to have a modified 9 and 8, and that's going to use the other modified 8. So this is a modified 7. And we now know stuff. We know that this cage, this is worth 32, and these are worth 13. They're either 6, 7 or 4, 9. I don't know which way round that is yet. But this cage, I think, might actually yield more, because this being a 7, that is a 28. These add up to 15. They can't be 7, 8 without a repeat. So they're 9, 6. This can't be a 9, because this cage has to have a 9 in it. So that's 6. This is 9. This is now a 9, 8, 7 cage, because there's no 6 in it. And therefore it's the double modifier. This is the single modifier. We'll get back to that. This digit is an 8 by Sudoku. This one's a 9. This one now can't be a 9, but the cage needs a 9 in. That's there, and that is the modified digit. Oh, sorry. What I could do down here is make the 8 red, because we've had a blue one. And then this is the water digit and is blue, and that can't be blue now. And now we've had the modified 9 in blue. This is the modified 9 in red. These cells are green. This pair that is worth 27. Oh, the blue modifier now does go here because it can't go here, because we've had the blue modifier in that row. That's worth 27. These are worth 14. That's an 8, 6 pair. This digit's a 7. That has all worked out. Goodness me. This digit is not 9 or 6. This digit is not 9 either. So that's a 7 and that's a 6. And that sorts out 8 and 6. And we've actually made progress and done something. What's more, we have got a modified digit in the 10 cage, which is multiplying by 3 here. So that's got to be 1 or 2. If it was a 2, these are a 3, 1 pair. I feel like, oh no, these are all non-modified. Actually, look, we've had red and blue in the bottom row, in this row, in this column. That's quite interesting about the 10 cage. We've filled in the other colours. We've got a red to come here and a blue to come here. And we've had both 9s and 8s in the puzzle, all done. Oh, that's not red anymore. So those two are going to have to be different numbers now, because they're in the same colour. It's a strange old puzzle, isn't it? We can't put an 8 into this cage. Or a 6. How about or a 6? Yes, because that's tripling. The only way you could put a 6 here is if that was triple one and that was single one, but that would repeat ones. So this is a 6-8 pair in the row. Now, can we do something similar here? Is this a 7-9 pair? It is. You can't... Oh, hang on. This could be a 7 with an ordinary 2-1 in those cells. Oh, bother. Right, 9 in one of those, 7 in one of those. Is this 6-8 pair any good to me? I can't imagine it would be. These are all from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Never afraid to over pencil mark your hero. The man who pencil marks like a mad thing. Can this be 9 or 7? No, because of this tripling. So 9, 7 go there in the column. Oh, this puzzle. I can't believe we've got some traction. I'm so thrilled. I mean, I know it's a bit pathetic, but I'm really thrilled by it. Honestly, actually excited. Now, this is multiplying by 4. Could it be a 3? This would be a 1-2 pair of natural digits. These would have to be 7 and 9. This digit can't be 7 or 9. Ah, 7 and 9 are a pair in this row. Hadn't seen that. Now, this is exciting. This is multiplying by 4. It can't be a 3 anymore, given what this is. Can it even be a 2? No, because a 2 multiplied by 4 plus a 7 is already 15. That has to be a 1 in red. This digit becomes a 2 by Sudoku, and that means its partners are 1 and 3, and that 1 is going to tell us which way round they go. This puzzle is crazy, and I love it even more now. I'm taking 1s and 2s out of those cells, and 2s out of those as well. Right. Now, this cage, 3 plus 9 would leave a 3. 3 plus 7 would leave a 5. Now, I have to be a little careful. I've written a 3 or a 5 into this cell, but what about if we multiplied something? This could be a multiplier. But I don't think it can be because of that 1. The only way you could multiply up by 3, up to 3, would be by having a 1. The only way you could multiply up to 3 using a different... Oh, wait. Do you know what I just did? And I hope I did it for the first time. I got to this point and I ruled out a 2 from here on the basis that 2 times 4 is 8, plus 7 is 15, and I thought this can't be 0. And that is wrong. In this puzzle, you can have a 0. It was specified in the rules. So I cannot stop that being a 1 or I cannot determine that that's a 1 yet. And in fact, I wonder if that's a trap waiting for me, that this is going to be both red and blue. Oh, okay. Well, at least I caught it there. That's terrifying. If that happens, Mad Tias is just evil Tias, and that's different. Wow. I mean, I have a strong feeling it is going to happen. I'm so relieved I spotted it. Now, I do think this can't be 3. That was all right as a conclusion, because that plus that would be a minimum 19. And I think, therefore, this 1-2 pair is fair. So this digit is 3, 4, or 5 as well. Now, this is 3 times... If it was 3 times 2... 6 plus 3 and 1 would do it. If it's 3 times 1, then these two add up to 7. This is always natural. So I think it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. And annoyingly, that hasn't really made a big decision for me. Ah, the idea of a cell being 0 and that suddenly mattering, that's just cruelty. I hope I haven't used that thought before about ruling on the totals of these cells. when I said that couldn't be a 4. You see, I did use it there. This could be a 4 with a 1 there and a 0 value here. Okay, that's horrible. Okay, well, I haven't narrowed that down. That I did narrow down, but almost immediately found that both of those were green, so they can't be 0. The interesting thing about a green cell is it can't be 0. Wow. Okay, I think I've dodged a bullet here and made repairs. I might be wrong. But I am left wondering what on earth can we do next. But then I was thinking that earlier and we kept managing to do things. So let's have a look here. Again, let's look at this value. So this now could be, well, the trouble is I can't write values in here. If it's worth 0, you could put any digit in, I suppose, other than 9 and 8, which we've used in both colours. Oh, maybe I could look for the blue 7. I hadn't thought that one could do something like that. The blue 7 can't be here because there's already blue in the row. It's obviously not in any of these places either. So the blue 7 is either here in box 3 or somewhere in this box 4. Or somewhere in this box 6. Well, not down there. Oh, blue 7 would have to be here. I don't know, it's very strange. I am beginning to notice things like that the maximum multiplier in this box is 3. Because we've had some of it ruled out. Oh, this cell sees blue and red, so that's green. So does this one. There aren't many of these around, but oh, that one as well. And this one. This one's going to have a red low digit. This one's going to have a blue digit that isn't 8. Oh, I hate the idea that this can be 0. If that was a 2, worth 8, this would have to be 7, and this would be both colours. So that would be blue and that would be red, and there would be a multiplier of 3 down here. This would be a 1 or, well, could it even be a 3 multiplied by a 3 with a 1 and another double? i.e. 0. Oh, it's horrible. Okay, this is a multiplier of 4. If that was a natural 4, this would have to be a 1, and this would be double coloured. And again, you'd have red here and blue here. Just looking at this value of 12, trying to think about it. This is even, so these two add up to odd. Oh, also, if that was a 4, this would have to be a 1, and that would be a 2, 3, 5 triple, and you'd have 4, 1 here. I just don't think that even does anything. That would be 6 or 8. It's not powerful enough to do something. One of these cells is red, and the 9 in this group has to be green. So does the 7. So the 9 and the 7 are the green cells, so that digit is 9 or 7. Oh, could this be a green 9 or 7? it could just. Could it be a red anything else? There's going to be a difference between, well, if that is a multiplier, a red cell, it's got to multiply by at least 2. Yeah, okay, this is interesting. I am on the verge of saying it can't be 7 or 9, but that would be the red multiplier. And then this couldn't be a 0 at that point. Oh, it's so complicated. If you're not finding this complicated, you're a qualified genius. Right, I'm thinking about the 12 cage now. I don't know why, but none of these cells are worth 0 because they're all looked at by one modifier already, so you can't put both modifiers in a single cell. So these all have a value. They might have a multiplied value, but only if you could achieve a 2 by having blue there and red there, or blue there and red there. So one of them could be multiplied by 2. If there weren't any 2 multiplications, you'd have to have one even digit in this cage. You couldn't have 3 because 2 have gone. The one even digit could be a 2 with a 9-1 or a 7-3. Oh, that's too many options. Or could it be a 4? Not with a 3-5, but with a 7-1. Okay, there's a lot of options of filling that cage with all digits that are either multiplied by 1 or unnatural. Wow, I'm really going to have to think of something clever. I don't know where that's going to come from. Okay, let's come back to this 15 cage. If it was a 2, this would be 7, this would be 9, this would be red and blue, fire and water. And fire and water down here would lead to this being 3 times something. And that couldn't be a 7 or a 9. Oh, by the way, I'm going to restore 9 as a possible cell here, not here, but here. Because if that's a 9, that could be a 1 and that could be a 0. I hadn't thought of that before. Anyway, where I was at was saying, if this is a 2, that's a 7, and this is both blue and red. And then we've got red and blue here with a multiplier of 3. This digit couldn't be 7 or 9, so this would have to be. We'd now have 7 and 9 as a pair here. And this would be red and blue. We'd have multiplier cells in these positions. I'm sorry, this is not easy. I'm not abashed at not being able to surf through this puzzle. Okay, let's think about this being a 2, which means these two have to add up to 4. So if that's a 2, that's a 3. And this is a 1. Now, according to what I've just said, there's nowhere to put a 1 in this box. Yeah, if that's a 2, that's a 1. And if that's a 1, that's right. Right, this isn't a 2. This is a 1. I wish I'd asked that question a long time ago, but I didn't. I was doing other questions. That is now a 2. And here we are in this position where that's 7, and this is both fire and water because it's got to be worth 0. Well, that is going to do something then. So now this is red. I haven't ruled out that being... Did I rule out that being 7 or 9? Yes, because it's multiplied by 3. Yes, I bloomin' did. So that is now 9. This is now 7. This one is 9. Hardly matter. Well, no, it does matter what this digit is because it can't have appeared in red or blue before. Well, I don't know. This one can't be 1 because we've had 1 in blue. So that is 4 times something happening there now. This, uninteresting. This one is interesting. This is 3 times something in a total value of 10. So let's say 1, 2, or 3 to start with. And that is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple. And these are 6 and 8. And this cell is now worth at least 6. So this can't be worth more than 11. And therefore it's not 4 or 3. It must be 2. 3 would be worth 12 multiplied by 4. Yes. So that is a 2 worth 8. This gets the total up to 14 or 16. And the value in this cell has to either be 1 or 3. Now, I think that means the digit either has to be 1 or 3, even allowing for multiplying. I think I can say that this time. I can't say that we're not multiplying in this cell. I can say it's not both red and blue. Oh, by the way, red and blue there gives me green in all these cells. Right. I mean, that was a huge leap forward and a cell worth 0 that I did think would happen, and it did. What about, no, not that 12 cage. What about this one then? Okay, let's say this digit wasn't an 8. No, that doesn't quite work. I was thinking then none of the cells in the cage could be 9, 8, 7, and 6. Oh, this one, none of these can be 2 now. There is a 2 in one of these two. Right, let's look at this 10 cage instead. If that's a 3, this is a 1, and this is a double... It can't be a double fire and water because there's a fire already in the column. So this can't be a 3. Is that right? Is that right? I think that's right. Yes, this would have to be worth 0. So that's a 1 worth 3. And this is now a 2-1 pair. And 3 plus, well, these two add up to a value of 7. This could have a double value if we had fire and water cells there and there. I don't know. This is, so what did I say? This is worth, these are worth 7 between them, and that is 3, 4, or 5. This can't be a double. Well, it never could be. It could be blue. It's worth 3, 5, or no. It's worth somewhere between. This is worth 7. This is worth somewhere between 2 and 4. But it's not a 1 or 2 digit. So it has to be a 3 or 4 digit. If it can't have a value of more than 4, and it can't multiply up by 2. So, but that doesn't mean it's not a water cell, because if it was sitting next to a fire cell, the multiplier would be 1. But we've got a 3, 4, 5 triple here, so that's a 1, 2 pair. Oh, that doesn't work. That's not a 1, 2 pair. It's a 6, 8 pair, you numpty. 1 and 2 are in these cells in this column, so that's not a 2. That's quite interesting because it does something to this. It makes it, this is now a 3, 4 pair. That's got to be. There is a 5 in those cells and not in those. and that's a 2, 3, 4 triple, and this is a 5. I think that was right. Now this is a 3, 4 pair, which actually I could have worked out before since they were both adding up to 7. That's a 3, 4 pair. So this is a 1, 2, 5 triple, and that's not a 5, and this is a 5. And I have a feeling I could work out something more about 3s and 4s, but I don't know. It's not coming clear from pencil marking, so maybe I can't. Wow, I mean, I'm loving this. This is so interesting. Okay, let's have a look at this. We've had 1, 2, 8, and 9 in blue. And this can't be 7 by Sudoku. This one, what have we had in all the colours? We've had 1, 2, 8, 7, 9 by Sudoku. That's not very helpful. This cage adds up to 12 without using 1, 7 or 9. Does it use 2 odd digits or no odd digits? It can't use an odd number because it won't add up to an even total. If it uses 2 odd digits, it has to be 3, 5 and a 4. That would just work. You get 6 here, 2 here, 8 here. So this could be 3, 4, 5. If it doesn't use any odd digits, it only uses even ones, then it's 2, 4, 6. It never has an 8 in it, and I can therefore place 8 in the box. If it's 2, 4, 6, that's left to be a 3, 5 pair. So this would then be 3, 5. If it's 3, 4, 5, that's a 6. At least that can't be a 4. No, it didn't really advance us much. This is worth 8. Oh yeah, I've done that maths before. This has to be worth 1 or 3, but... Oh, well, it can't be a multiplier of 3 from that position. I don't know what that means. I think there's still plenty of work to do in this puzzle. Is there more Sudoku at this point? No, I think it's these 12 cages. It's amazing that actually we've referred to all the cages in the puzzle apart maybe from those. 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. Well, maybe I do need to think about a digit that hasn't been coloured. Look at 6. Green, 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 green. We need to find a blue 6 and a red 6. Now they could both be living in that cell. Yeah, that's really weird. These two can't be the same as each other. Do you know what? This digit can't be a 6. Because by Sudoku, that would put a 6 here, and then you'd have 2 blue 6s. That's so odd. Whatever this digit is now, its Sudoku equivalent lives there and also down here. Now this can't be the blue 6, actually. So that could be a blue 6. Or there could be one in this box. Or it's there. That's a little too much optionality for my poor brain. The red up here is not going to be 6. Where's the red 6? The red 6 is not there either. Where's the red 6? This is a lovely question. It's not in boxes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 or 9. So it must, the red 6 is in box 6. How do I mark that? I have no clue. Well, okay, I do have a clue. It's the red 6, so it's not in this column which already has red. It's not here because 6 and 8 are marked. So the red 6 is in one of these two cells and is a 6. And that digit becomes an 8. That's amazing. That's a 6. This is 8. That's 6. Right. What's going on in this cage? I'll look for blue 6 in a minute, because that's quite interesting now. But this cage, that's worth 8, plus 8 is 16. This is going to have to be a 1, whether it's multiplied up or not. Whether it's multiplied by 1 or not. It can't be a blue 1, because we've had 1. And it can't be red, because red's here. So that is a green 1. Now, blue 6 is not in this box. It could be there, but it could also be here. So, oh, do excuse me, sorry, 1 second. Back to the fun. Blue 6 was in one of these 2 cells. That's what I just said. So annoyingly, all that proves to me, I think, is that this cell is not a 6. That's not all that helpful. 1, 2, 8, 9. Blue, one of these is blue. I mean, I'm going to do that marking now. One of these is red, and it's not a 1, and it's not a 2. So the red digit here is a 5, and that's not a 5. So we've got a red 5, a red 6. This can't be red 5 anymore. Red is in one of these cells and is 3 or 4 up here, which is going to make a pair with the 3 or 4 there. Oh, red is looking up at that one, so that's not red. This is red and is 3 or 4. Now, how far away is that from blue? 1 or 2. If you doubled it, if this was blue and you doubled that digit, it would be worth 6 or 8. And we've had the 3-4 pair, 8, 6, 3, 4, 9, 7. These are from 1, 2, 5. 8, 6, 3, 4, 9. Oh, well, 9 is placed in the box. That's bizarre. And then there's a 9 in one of these 2. These include a 7. Oh, this is weird. Right. That is... Well, it depends whether this is blue or not. If that's blue, they both have a value of 1 times. But if that's blue, this is doubled. If it was doubled 4, those would have to add up to 4, and they can't. If it was doubled 3, these would have to add up to 6, and they can, with a 1 and a 5. If it's single 4, these add up to 8, with a 1 and a 7. If it's single 3, these add up to 9 with a 2 and a 7 in that order. So this is either 1, 7, 2, 7 or, what was it? 1, 5. So that can't be 5. And this can't be 2. And that probably is not going to resolve anything, but it's quite interesting. It doesn't tell me which of these is blue. Maybe I should be thinking about the numbers in blue. We've had 1, 2, 8, 9 definite. We've got that being either 3 or 4. We've never had a 7 in blue, so that could be here. So it's head-wrecking at this stage. 8, 6, 9, 1, 7. There's a 1 in one of these cells, and that's not a 1. Oh, it's not a 2 either, apparently. So that's a 5, 7 pair. This is now a 1, 2 pair. 6, 9, 7. These are from 3, 4, 5, 8. That one sees a 3, 4 in the row. Those are different by the maths of this cage. So maybe I weirdly have to start colouring 3s and 4s now. I mean, that's going to fry me. Let's A and B them. Let's give them letters. Let's call this A. This is both colours as well, which is interesting. This is B. That's A from being in the same cage. That's B. That's fine to be different to that one. That's okay. This one, well, one of these is A and this one is B. And that's A and that's B and that's A. In this case, well, no, this is a general case. A and B definitely are 3 and 4. That one is A, so this one can't be coloured because it would be the same digit. Wow, I mean, that's a complicated way of getting there. So this is 6 or 8 in blue. Well, it has to be 6. God, I'm pleased with that. This is now 5 by Sudoku. One of these is B. I mean, I'll take up the cudgels with A and B again if I have to somewhere. We've still got a blue B to colour somewhere. That was weird Sudoku, or whatever it is, mixture of Sudoku and fire and water. Now, we've had blue here. And we've had 8, 1, 6, 2, 9 in blue, so that's not 6. That's now 3 or 5. 6 now has to get into this cage. In fact, 6 is in that cell. And the cage, I think, therefore, has to make up with a 2, 4 pair. That's 1, that's 2. This is 3 or 5. This row needs a 1, 4 at the end. This row needs a 3, 5. There's a 5 in one of those cells. Okay, that's fine. Now, that's red and that's blue, so this is green. And this must be blue. And now we know these multiply by 1, not by 2. So, this is a natural valued cage. If that's 7, this pair adds up to 5. If that's 5, you can't get to 12. So that is a 7. Now we've had 8, 7, 1, 6, 9, 2. We need a blue 3, 4 or 5 in this cell. So that's not 8, and this is 8, and that's green. That's blue 3 or 4, that's blue 3 or 4, this is blue 5. We're going to have red 5 here and red 6 here, red 3 or 4 here and here. Okay, fine. Oh, but that 3, can I letter it? Or this 4? Yes, this is A. That's B has become 3. And A has become 4. Well, that's a big deal. Now, that digit is blue 3. We're still going to get red 5 and red 6 in these two cells in some order at some point in some way. I don't know how. But this is great. Now I can put 5 here, and that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight. 9 and 2 go here. This is a 4, 6, 7 triple. That digit can't be 6, which is red, or 4, which is in the row. So that's 6, that's 4. 6 is the red digit. These two are now green, and that is red and is 5. And we found all the fire and water cells. That digit is a naked 2. I mean, I really hope I haven't gone wrong somewhere. That's a 9. Then we get 6 to finish row 4. This 7, 9 pair are not resolved. Right, this column, yes, 7 and 5. This box, 1 and 3 are there. 8 and 9 are resolved here. That fixes 7 and 9. Okay, oh, this cage, those add up to 10. So that's a 2, that's a 1. That's 2, that's 4. So we've got every kind of variety in the cells. We've got a 0 cell, we've got cells multiplied by 1, cells multiplied by 2, cells multiplied by 3, and cells multiplied by 4. I mean, it's fantastic compiling, constructing, creation by Mad Tyus, who, although I think he's mad, is nonetheless a mad and evil genius. And there we go. Fantastic. I have loved that puzzle from beginning to little old end. Thank you so much for watching us on the channel. I hope you enjoyed that along with me. It's brilliant. Oh, those deductions and that cheeky zero. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.